What's good, y'all? It's HB Punch and Profit. We're going to break down price action in the NASDAQ today, January 30, 2025. If you want to see some of the live executions I had today, click on the links in the description below, or I'll have them uploaded on video cards. But before we get started, like the video, comment down below, subscribe if you're new. It helps the channel, helps me find the time to provide you guys with free content. But let's start with this in preface. Okay, obviously, we're going to really repeat these 5 steps and have the color codes. I'm all about repetition. I'm an athlete, so uh, it's the holy grail for me: repetition, repetition, and experience. But also keeping it simple, and that's why I have these 5 steps. Now, is there more to this? Are there more confluences? Of course, there's new day opening gaps, there's new week opening gaps, there's the midnight opening and using that to build your narrative. There is the highs and lows of each session. There is higher time frames. But for right now, we're going to keep it simple. Once we build the channel up, we'll add a little bit more and have separate discussions on these confluences. But for me, I'm trying to give a plan for somebody who's new or transitioning and to get to the point, right? And keep it short and simple and very understandable, and filter out as much BS as possible, because you can get lost in the sauce when you start adding all these different things. You need the bread and butter, you need the foundation, and then once you get used to these 5 rules and these 5 steps, then you can start adding to that, right? You got your car frame, you can start building around it. So let's get into it. Oh, and don't forget, just because you have these 5 steps doesn't mean you should take every trade from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Right? Keep it simple when you're first starting. Like I said, filter out the BS. Maybe you just trade the 950 to 1010 macro and you look for a setup. Okay, it's not always going to happen every day within that macro, but it's going to happen quite frequently. If that's not enough, okay, maybe you expand out to 10 or the silver bullet hour. You trade the whole silver bullet hour, and essentially that is pretty much these 2 macros and what happens in between, right? All this price action from 950 to 1110. You look for your setup within here, and you can pretty much take that trade anywhere between there, right? Essentially. And then when you get the repetition and you get winning trades and you start becoming profitable, then you can start expanding out and experiment. Then you can mess with the 930 opening. This was a perfect example of a fake out or a lot of manipulation. You were accumulating, you manipulated, and then you got your little flush down. And you kind of got faked out to the downside, faked out to the upside, and then it goes. Okay? But that's all that is. It's pretty much accumulation, expanding that range, manipulating up to the top, and then pushing down. And that's why sometimes it can be difficult to trade that 930 if you don't know what you're doing. Obviously, there's high reward to taking risk around that time and setting up trades. You've seen a lot of my trades. I get big wins. Like I can win off this leg, okay, because I have experience and I know how to get in with buy stops and sell stops, okay, and manage my risk very tight. And even if I do take a L and get faked out, okay, because I'm not reading the higher time frame properly, I can always recover from that, okay, with the next move. So, was there a trade there? Yes. Did it come back if you placed a limit order? Well, it came back and it blew you out, right? So, one higher time frame for me, it was neutral in the sense that there were buy and sell opportunities, but leaning bearish, we're predominantly looking for sells, right? But for me, I can buy this. Once again, I can buy this inversion, okay, and I'm gonna be placing a buy stop, okay, because it's before the 950 1010 macro. Boom, I get hit in. I'm getting a quick 1-to-1 off of this. Even if my stop is at the swing low, I get a nice 1-to-1. Or I may decide to manage that stop a little tighter, just below the inversion or above it, or a little close to the advanced market structure shift, and I get a nice risk to reward off of that quick run. Okay, but if you're wise, you wait for the 950 1010 macro. Where do you get your inversion? Right here. Okay, but we're looking for advanced market structure shift. We go down, we come back up, and guess what? We get this strong signal. Okay, you get another inversion, bearish inversion, and you get this advanced market structure shift right here. Okay, that's two bearish inversions. You have a bearish fair value gap, bullish fair value gap, and then one more bearish fair. That's a strong confluence, and you don't have to wait when you get that signal with a limit order. You can place a sell stop right here, and look at this. What a trade. Even if you put your stop at the swing high, this offered you potentially, depending on how you wanted to trade it, 263-point leg. Okay, and you don't even have to keep your stop that high. You can move it just slightly above the inversion. You can keep it a certain amount of points from the advanced market structure shift just below the inversion, and look how ridiculous that risk to reward is. Beautiful trade. Now, another thing you can do, don't over leverage. Put 1 to 2 micros. Okay, 1 micro and a 60-point stop. Let's say worst case scenario happens, you get blasted out for 60 points. That's $120. Okay, that's under $200 for the day. But guess what? You don't even have any drawdown. Okay, and as the trade is moving in your favor, what you can do is start to bring that stop down. And at a certain point, even bring it down to break even or a profit. Okay, so just understand that. Another thing is, if, well, I'll save that for later. So that was there. That was the 950 1010 macro. All right. In the silver bullet hour, which was between the 950 1010 and the 1050 1110 macro, you had so many opportunities. And this is where I took some trades. I think this was the trade I took right here, just for a quick little scalp of $500. Okay, I missed out on this one. I put a limit order. I thought that maybe we get a touch back in. It went without me. Caught this move right here. Inversion. We zoom in. Bearish fair value gap overlapped by, or bullish fair value gap overlapped by bearish one. Wait for us to get a candle close over the blue line. Put a limit order. We get tapped in. Put our stop at the swing high. Okay. And I'm scalping for a quick 1-to-1. Now, can I catch massive moves? Sure. Right? But I don't like sitting in the market very. I like quick scalps, making 500 to 1,000 or up to 2,000, making 3 to 4 trades, right? $500, and I don't have to sit in. That helps my psychology. Some of you may have the ability to sit through a long run. Okay, I don't. You know, when you got kids, 2 kids, little baby boys that need attention and they want to go run and play, you don't really have a lot of time to sit and mess with this stuff and manage a trade. So I get in, I get out, but I already showed you, you can get so much more than I'm getting, right? This offered you from, with the stop at the swing high, this offered you a 151-point leg. Okay, 2 to 8. All right, and that's if you want to keep your stop all the way up there. Now, what I did, I give my trade room to breathe initially, and then I start to tighten my stop. Okay, once we start making a move in the direction I want to go, I start managing that stop tighter. Now, you get so many opportunities to jump into this. Another inversion here, and this is all within the silver bullet hour. Advanced market structure shift. All these are offering, if I'm not mistaken, at least 2 to 1s. That's a 3 to 1 right there. Okay, all depends how you frame it. Another one right here, inversion, advanced market structure shift. Okay, bullish fair value gap overlapped by bearish one, advanced market structure shift at the blue line, candle close. Once again, at this point you should know the higher time frame narrative, because we are pushing down fairly consistently. 132 points at least offers use a 3 to 1, 3 to 7 at most. Same thing, another one, and this one goes without you. Okay, inversion, advanced market structure shift, limit order wouldn't have worked right there, sell stop would have worked. Okay, boom, offers you at least 4 to 1 essentially. That's what I'm talking about. It's a beautiful, man. Alright, so those were the moves to the downside. Offered you plenty of opportunities to get in from 950 to 1110 macro. Okay, we get to 1150, 1210. Okay, guess what? Inversion. Okay, bullish fair value gap right here, overlapped by bearish one, roughly speaking. Advanced market structure shift. Stop at the swing high, just above the inversion, just below it would have worked very good. All right, but we'll keep it at the swing high as a preliminary. Comes down, offers you at least a 3 to 1, goes up to about 4. Okay, risk to reward, and definitely gives you that. Say you went just above the inversion, just below it, all how you want to shake it, man. Or you started pulling it down as the trade started pushing. Okay, beautiful trade. All right, then we get our 110 to 140. This was a nice trade. I believe I got a 1-to-1 off of this one, and it's uploaded on my YouTube short. And look at the run I missed out on. This is what I'm saying. You can get so much more than I'm getting. I'm just getting in and I'm getting out, right? And I'm happy with my 500 each trade. It adds up for me, and protects my psychology, so I don't have to sit in a trade. So you get this bearish fair value gap, bullish fair value gap, inversion, advanced market structure shift, limit order placed at the blue line. You get tapped in right here, and you have a beautiful run up. I just took a 1-to-1. Okay, stop at this. Actually, I think I kept my stop just above the inversion in this case. Just above the inversion, and I may have aimed for like I believe like a 3 to 1, roughly speaking. That was the trade I had. Got in, got out, but look at this. Even if I kept my stop at the swing low, it offered me up to 128 points, almost a 4 to 1. And that's the beauty. Signals all day. Wait for these key time periods in the silver bullet hour, and it will present. Learn the higher time frame to understand the daily narrative, 4-hour narrative, and the 1 hour, and that will make you very exceptional at taking these signals. Okay, there was, like I said, I did take a scalp on the 5-minute time frame, but I'm gonna save that for later. When we build this channel, we'll talk about higher time frames and how to take those trades and how I kind of approach that and take scalps off of those higher time frames. But for now, we'll keep it simple. This is HB Punch and Profit. Like the video, comment down below, subscribe if you're new. Peace.